Hello everyone and welcome. Make a cup of your favorite drink and get comfortable because this is a wonderful time for new stories from Yellowcat. Send your own stories in the comments below and maybe they'll be in our new video. Retail workers of Reddit. What is the most desperate scam a customer has tried to pull on you? Part 2. I was working in a betting shop during the 2014 Football World Cup. We had this one really awful customer, must have been in his 80s, and always wildly inappropriate, asking what color my underwear was, did I need someone to keep me warm tonight, etc. But I couldn't do anything as the higher-ups wanted to squeeze money from him. Anyway, the night before the final match, he comes in and tells me he wants to bet on Germany to win. I spent about 10 minutes explaining to him that it was the final, he could no longer have a broad bet like that. Instead, he'd have to choose between a 90-minute win or winning in extra time on penalties, etc. I showed him the odds for all of the different bets, and he ended up choosing the 90-minute win. I put the bet through for him, and off he went into the night to be creepy somewhere else. The match plays out, and of course, Germany wins in extra time. The next day, unnamed creepy dude comes in grinning from ear to ear and telling me how he's a winner. Oh boy. Again, I have to explain to him that his bet isn't valid as he predicted they'd win before 90 minutes, and they hadn't. Dude flies into a rage about how I'm a money-grabbing S who's jealous of his riches and I have to pay him out or he'll call the police. I tell him to leave my store or I'll call them myself. He complies. A few days later, I come back from my lunch break to see him ranting at my cashier. I ask what the problem is, and he throws me his bet slip for the World Cup, only now he's written extra time on it in pen, and is trying to get my less experienced staff member to pay him out. I tell him that when we scan bets, the computer takes an image of it. Obviously, the slip he has given to us has been altered as it doesn't match what's on the screen. I even turned the computer to show him, and that counts as fraud. Again, he leaves spouting nonsense about how women shouldn't be working anyway because they can't count or read. Next week, I get told I have to go to a meeting as I've had a complaint filed against me by a customer. The day of the meeting rolls around and I'm greeted by my area manager, security director, and creepy dude. He had phoned the customer line and said I'd refused to pay his bet and taken the money for myself. We ended up bringing up the CCTV of the night he originally placed the bet, complete with audio, to prove without a shadow of a doubt that he was in the wrong. Dude won't accept this and starts screaming that we're all thieves, we faked the video, and threatening to get a lawyer. Security director escorts him off the premises and he is banned from all of our chains indefinitely. The kicker is, if his bet had won, it would have been a whopping £55. I worked at a Jewel many years ago. Opening shift as a cashier, a man comes through with two 24 packs of Pepsi. It's opening shift, so at the time we count our registers and confirm they've got the correct opening cash. We didn't carry too much cash, and we all know how much is in the drawer to start. He ends up paying with a $100 bill for these sodas. I counted back his change with mostly 20s, all the 20s I had just counted. There were no more 20s that I could give him. And I don't know how he did this, but he shuffled them in his hand and showed me that I supposedly shortchanged him. Now, I knew immediately that he was a piece of S. My store wasn't S, so I told him I would call a manager over and have them double check the register. The manager came, counted down the register, and explained that the drawer was balanced, which means I didn't shortchange anybody. But if for whatever reason the drawer turned up $20 overnight, we could give him a call. The manager tries to take his info down and he asks for his name, and the guy thinks about it and says, Steve Bush. F you, Steve Bush. You're a sack of lying S who tries to scam 16-year-olds out of $20. Edit to add. Yes, I'm aware that money isn't my money, but I took that as a personal offense. When I left that day, I called my now husband mad as H. I felt angry because he must have assumed I looked like an idiot that would hand him extra money or something of that nature. Also, he can't actually scam Jewel without scamming me first. Just because it isn't my money didn't mean he didn't try to scam me out of $20. We are responsible for how much money we lose. Just yesterday, I had a till tapper / quick change artist try to money shuffle me for what would have been a grand sum of $5. Peed him off when I wouldn't play his game. Next best was someone calling wanting to know if we had spare empty boxes for Xbox consoles because he wanted to prank his kid and give him an empty box. I know very well he wanted to try to stuff the box with who knows what and attempt a return. Of course, the folks at customer service check such boxes for actual product and match serials to those on the box. One of my embarrassing memories from working retail is falling for one of these scams. I had actually been a cashier for probably 5 years at this point and had never heard of this particular method. I had seen people come in with cloned credit cards, barcodes switched and placed on the wrong product, returns that are filled with junk, counterfeit money, etc., but never had heard of this type of thing. Some guy came in and wanted to pay for a cheap item with a $100 bill. I count out his change and am about to hand it over, let's say $95.15, when he changes his mind and says, "Oh wait, give me that $100 back, I have exact change. I can give you the 85 cents so that you won't need to give me the coins and you can just give me the $95. And F if I didn't just hand it over. He spaced it out long enough that I was still holding the $95, and because I had to take time to put the coins away by that point, I completely forgot that I had given him back his $100. I had no idea it happened until the next day when my manager brought me in to review the video and asked me if I remembered the customer on the screen. I did because the a-hole was friendly and we had chatted while I started ringing him up. I even told my manager, "Oh yeah, nice guy," and then was informed of what happened. It's one of the few times in my life I can remember being honestly startled and blown away that I hadn't realized what happened. I had a customer come to purchase some stuff, and they had found a coupon from 3 years ago on Google Images for 50% off whole purchase. I told her I can't do that, and the only one we had going at the time was not viable for her purchase. She yelled stupid loud, stormed out cursing, and I felt good. She emailed corporate, and I got in trouble for making her upset. September 12, 2001, USA. A guy in Spartanburg, South Carolina calls and says that his weed trimmer was in the Twin Towers in New York City the day before and got destroyed by terrorists, and demanded I replace it under warranty. When the store I used to work PetSmart at first opened, they would send out coupons to specific people if they had pet perks and an email. Well, someone shared their coupon online, which was for a free bag of dog food. What preceded was a mass of people coming in the next few weeks attempting and succeeding to redeem the coupon, as we didn't want to start off on the wrong foot after newly opening. Anyway, I got put on the register and this woman comes through with 12 bags of dog food and 12 coupons. We can't actually do that on the same purchase, and usually when someone does that, having 2 coupons, we just do 2 different transactions. It's whatever. But this lady has 12 and I'm lazy, so I called my manager over to deal with it. The manager tries to explain to the woman that the coupons aren't technically valid as it's for a specific person for 1 bag. Woman keeps pushing on the fact that she physically has the coupons, so they must work, and acts like she doesn't understand why they won't. Eventually, manager says, "You know what? We'll do it, but only for 6 bags. Woman throws a fit and leaves the entire cart. Coulda got 6 bags free, but nope. Manager said she'd seen the woman do the exact same thing at Dollar General the day before. Second story, and not me, but same store. Occasionally, we had a spokesperson for a few brands of dog food come in, usually weekly, that would set up a booth at our store, but would do the same with other stores in the area. We had a coupon come out where you could get a $15 box of wet cat food, about 16 cans, for free or pay the difference. She came through with a $30 box and the cashier caught it and said, well, you have to pay the difference or get a box that costs $15. The woman was like, oh no, all the other stores let me have it for free. You can do it too. Cashier says, nope, it's not how we do it here. You'll have to pay the difference or buy cheaper. The woman demands the manager and gets the GM, who backs the cashier up. Difference or cheaper? Woman gets huffy and goes and grabs a cheaper box, $25, and expects the cashier to free it out. Cashier is like, LOL, nope. I guess the woman is either frustrated or embarrassed at this point, because when cashier points out difference or cheaper, she gets huffy again and will pay the D difference. I forgot to mention, the second lady also brought in previous receipts from other stores to prove they'd freed out more expensive food. I'm thinking one store did it either on purpose or accident, and since she had the receipt, she can force them because the other stores did it. I work at a major cell phone retailer. I once had a man come in with his wife to do an upgrade to whatever the new iPhone was at the time. While they were sitting in the store working with one of my reps, I was in management at the time, the wife starts getting text messages from someone claiming to be her husband's mistress. This did not go over well. They took it outside before it got overly nasty, and we all assumed they were gone for good. Not so. The husband comes back in, alone. He finishes upgrading his phone, priorities, and left. The very next day, he tried to return the phone, claiming that we had sold him one with screen damage. He brings it in, it looks like someone took a diamond ring or something to the screen and scratched the heck out of it. Now, we have a strict open the box and hand it to the customer before they leave policy to avoid these situations. I was able to pull tape, show the customer where he held the phone for a good 5 minutes without pointing out any flaws, and tell him that my company offers no warranty on that brand even if it's bad out of the box, and especially when he didn't show it to us before leaving the store. I suggested he take it up with the manufacturer if he truly believed the phone was damaged out of the box. He did. Right there in the store, he called them. They also told him to kick rocks. The best part? I was new to management, so I didn't have a manager name tag yet. He asked to speak to the manager, and I got to give him my best evil grin and say, I am the manager. He left after that, and we never saw him again. If you want to watch the part 1, click the link here. Thank you for watching. Guys, thank you for all the support and the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. See you next time.